Hi, I'm David, this is Joe, and this is Crispy.
Hello.
Today we're going over our Game of the Decade.
I mean, we all know the Game of the Decade, right?
Yeah, well...
Yeah, I mean, we had a list of all of these different categories like we did with our movies, but we realized that the three of us have played very different games this decade. But we all came to an agreement and we sent each other emails on the Game of the Decade that I think we all pretty much agree. Yeah, so we all just wrote it down.
So... on three, we'll reveal to everybody the Game of the Decade. 1, 2, 3.
Last of Us. New Leaf.
Wait, what did you guys have running there?
Last of Us.
Animal Crossing.
What the fuck? Animal Crossing?
You mean Farmville?
Kingdom Hearts 3, you mean Kingdom Butt 3.
That was lame.
What?
Last of Us is the best one.
Oh, Last of Us? Oh, you
more
mean
like
you
a
mean
20-year-old
the best
playing an
game
old man.
on the PlayStation?
Yes.
Wow.
All right, okay. Obviously, there's been a little mix-up here, but Last of Us is the best game of the decade because it had story, visuals, the gameplay was awesome. I mean, it was perfect.
Yeah, I mean, all games that came out in the decade had a story and visuals.
And gameplay was
and they all had gameplay, too.
They all did have gameplay.
Animal Crossing had a story, did it?
Oh, yeah, got him.
Kingdom Hearts had...
This has a story that's been going on for 10 years. Way over, actually. Now.
Animal Crossing probably has a better story. And it doesn't even have a story.
Does Kingdom Hearts have a story that anybody can follow?
No. But none of yours have Disney characters in it. And
at least
this
not at Disney.
series has been going on for so long. And Disney literally rules the world. And I let it rule my life. So, I mean...
Animal Crossing is an older series. This series has been going on for so long.
Older doesn't mean better. And if older did mean better, Last of Us would still win because
Joel is older than
oldest.
Sora. And the
He's
weird
older than the farm animals.
And the weird puppet things.
How long do pigs even last, bro?
That walk around.
Hey, look, the pig villagers, they're dumb, okay? I don't keep any pigs in my town except for the one that I don't talk about.
Wow, what's wrong with pigs?
In Ganon. Because I have the...
So I'm glad he agrees. That game's bad.
Exactly. So we agree that game was bad. And Kingdom Hearts is
Last
a
of
clear
Us.
winner.
Obviously, both these games aren't the winner.
I mean... This is the third game in a franchise that's been going on since before I was born. And, I mean, all of the games I've loved throughout my childhood.
I mean, Resident Evil had several games that came out throughout the decade. I don't think more games necessarily means it's better.
I mean, Super Mario probably had like 75 games that came out this decade.
It wasn't the best game, but let's see. Let's talk about gameplay. Kingdom Hearts... You float around a bit.
You hit X.
And all that stuff. And it's cool. Yeah, you do massive combos with the X button.
And only the X button.
You have Keyblade transformations, attractions, magic. Oh, you've got so many things at your disposal. And you also have links. You have summons. You have all these things that have been in these games. And you don't just click X. You also click triangle sometimes and circle. Okay. Those are almost all the buttons.
Well, in Last of Us, you have to...
What do you hit? R2?
And L2, because you got to aim.
Wow.
So you can't just hip fire the clickers. But you have to navigate your way through not only infected people who are trying to kill you, but clickers, and also regular human beings with machine guns. Sometimes there are various areas where you're pinned down by sniper fire. There's areas where you're pinned down because clickers or some weird monster creatures are trying to kill you. You have a bunch of different weapons. You have Molotov cocktails. You have bricks. Bricks are the greatest game invention ever.
Yeah, but you just use the brick and then you beat the game.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't need to use any of the weapons.
You have so many options. You can shoot them. You can sneak past them. You don't even have to shoot them. You can just sneak.
Or you can throw a beer bottle at them.
You can go through the game how you want. There's so many different ways to go about it. Whether or not you see a group of people, and so you throw a brick, they run towards it. You throw a Molotov cocktail, boom, they're all on fire, they're dead. Or you sneak around and you just don't fuck with them. Or you pick them all off with a bow and arrow. I mean, the options are so many, and they're all great.
And what do you do in Animal Crossing again? What's the gameplay?
If we're talking about
you dig a hole and you plant a seed in there.
Nah, you don't understand.
Sit for 30 hours.
Do you babysit pigs?
Oh, he doesn't like pigs, so he only
I don't like
chickens.
Pigs. Okay, look,
llamas.
Look at all those.
So Animal Crossing New Leaf is by far the best Animal Crossing game regarding gameplay and everything else. If we're talking about gameplay, I think Animal Crossing
I can't even come up with
It has
What do you mean?
gameplay.
What?
It's got all this
Look, you gotta
gameplay.
and everything in
What do you
Animal
do?
Crossing is optional. It doesn't force
Everything
you to
is
do it.
optional. The game is optional.
Like playing
actually.
the game. You don't have to
exactly.
play it.
You don't have to
Look.
play it, and then you'll never have to have the animals farm the other animals again.
Hey, look, there's no farming in Animal Crossing. We do not have corn. We do not have carrots. We have oranges
That sucks.
and apples.
So you
and
don't even farm?
persimmons. No, you don't.
Oh no!
We take our shovel, okay? We dig a hole in the ground.
Like I
if
said.
you're a little crazy,
And then
you get
you
a
plant
golden
something.
shovel, like I do. I have all the items.
Wait,
I've
wait,
100% completed the game.
Once you get the shovel and you dig a hole, do you plant something in it?
No, you throw like a persimmon in there or something, and in
So
3
you plant
days,
it.
then
That's
you get a
called
persimmon tree.
farming.
Yeah,
It's not.
that's what a farm is.
Look,
In Kingdom
Let's
Hearts,
move on
you
to
don't have to
characters.
farm anything. I'm just saying.
let's move on to characters.
I mean,
okay.
characters. Who is more
Before I have
iconic
an
than Sora?
aneurysm.
I mean, there's out of this bunch, none of the characters compare to Sora. This man is just the symbol of light. It makes friends with everybody he sees. Doesn't matter who it is. He makes friends with the enemies. He will befriend literally anything or any person. And this man cannot be stopped. He is a boy with a key, and he is unstoppable. And they've just got a plethora of all these other characters that have come together. It's like the Avengers of the Kingdom Hearts series, because
Hold
you've
on.
got all the characters from all the games coming together. And you've also got all of the Disney characters. Everybody you grew up with, all of these Disney characters that you've loved from your childhood are in a video game. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I mean, the Disney characters are cool and all, but it's a novelty. There's only so many minutes of, oh, cool, Woody's fighting with me. Like, that's exciting for about
Ooh,
5
get to
minutes.
fight with Buzz.
It's cool.
I mean, come on. What other game
cool.
can you fight
Yeah,
with
but
Buzz?
then that wears
Mike
off.
Wazowski's in that game.
And it's
so.
like just having all the side characters. It's a cool feature for sure, but I mean, it's not all that exciting. It wears off pretty quick. Sora, probably too friendly, too trusting. When somebody like Joel or Ellie, they know not to trust anybody. They know they're in a sick, bad world, and they know how to fight and live. And that's what they do. Joel, I mean,
Grouchy.
he actually goes through a character arc. He doesn't trust anybody, doesn't care about anybody. By the end, he cares about Ellie. And he's willing to kill and murder as many doctors as he has to keep her alive.
I mean, you don't have to, but I did.
Yeah, David, you don't have to. You can just
You have
sneak
to.
past
You can
them.
just-
You have to. Can you really?
Yes. Yeah, we killed
No,
the doctors.
you have to kill them.
All
It's the
right.
only way.
How many characters do you guys games have? What, 7? How many?
100 in Kingdom Hearts? What are you talking about? All
Animal
of the
Crossing
Disney
New
characters?
Leaf has over 350 characters.
How many character arcs?
Each of them.
Each of them make what sound?
They make these weird.
Each of them.
Meep morp.
No, look. They all have different personalities. You got characters like Mr. Rossetti, who's this grouchy mole who's prone to heart attacks. And
It's kind of like
Christian.
kind of like old Crispy.
and he'll yell at you if you reset the game, breaking the fourth wall a little bit. I like. You got Pave. Pave is an ostrich who really likes
Poverty-stricken
feathers.
ostrich.
I mean,
Poor
pretty
ostrich.
much. I
And
don't
how
know
do
where
they
he
how do
lives.
they express these emotions?
By talking to them. They also can talk to each other. You can listen in on their conversations. They can show emotion. You could tell every day what their emotions are that day. And some
As you're farming, you get to know if he's happy about how many persimmons the ostrich has, or if he's mad and wants a few more persimmons
look,
to
if
sell
you-
at the local
They have
market.
that feature also in Last of Us and in Kingdom Hearts to where face expressions
Also show their
emotions.
And, might I add, the characters will start to be more friendly to you the more you talk to them, which is kind of like a character arc.
Kinda.
And you'll slowly get to learn each character's personality. One of my favorite villagers, Egbert, he's very lazy.
Egbert.
Okay.
Last of Us has got good realistic graphics, but I mean, you can't compare to Kingdom Hearts' graphics. That game just blew me away. Not only do they also have hyper-realistic graphics with the Pirates of the Caribbean world, they literally look like they're just ripped straight out the movie, and then they shoved Sora, Donald, and Goofy in that movie. But they also recreate Let It Go with graphics that look pretty much the same as the animation. Like you put them side by side, it almost looks exactly the same. Just the colors that they use are so bright and wonderful, and then when they're not, they're really dark and gritty. It's just, I've never played a game where more than halfway through the game, I'm still being surprised by the graphics.
That's cool, but check this out.
Last of Us was remastered, and the remastered version, I mean, the graphics were so just crystal clear, just clean, just all the way through. Yeah, it doesn't do all the pretty bright colors and stuff. It's a very dark game, but for what it's supposed to be, it's perfect. The graphics are clean, smooth. The creatures, the enemies, they all look realistic enough, and they definitely add an unsettling tone with the way what's it called? The clickers, and then I forget the big, what's the fat guys?
Bloaters.
Yeah.
The clickers and the bloaters and the infected all look so detailed and realistic that I could totally see a human being taken over by some kind of parasite or fungus would look like that. It looks terrible and disgusting. And yeah, I mean, it's just, for what they're supposed to do, it works.
Step aside, you realistic graphics people. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Donald?
You just said that Pirates of the Caribbean looks like it's straight out of the movie Animal Crossing. Looks
like it's straight out of what? Hell?
It's like a deleted scene from Cuphead.
Cats. 2019.
What did you say about Cuphead?
There's a cat
It's
in
like
that game, huh?
There's multiple, and one of their names is Tangy, and she is an orange cat. Her head is an orange.
The other one's Mr. Mistopheles.
Yeah.
Okay, so the graphics in Animal Crossing, they just make you happy just to look at them, and your town's
Look how
colors.
happy you're getting.
Look how happy he's getting all stressed out again.
And your town's colors change with the seasons. Like in summer, it's kind of like a dark green, jungly type color palette. In the fall, all the leaves turn orange.
It looks
the
like
grass
every other
turns.
Nintendo game.
Have you played Eternal Darkness and Geist? Those are horror games, and those were made by Nintendo. They did not.
They didn't know about it.
Did they?
Nintendo didn't know about it. Somebody in their studio made it.
They didn't run that by old Mario.
Yeah, they didn't run that by anybody at Nintendo. Whoever runs that.
And then, like, in the winter,
plumber.
it looks very... Doug Bowser, by the way. It looks very bright and, like, white and snowy. And in the spring, it looks
Last
very
of Us
vibrant.
Does the same thing. We actually, in The Last of Us, go through all 4 seasons, and the snow is also white and
Kingdom
snowy.
Hearts, you go through different worlds.
Yeah.
Full different worlds with completely different environments.
But-
you go through Monsters Inc., which everything is monsterized, and then you go
And
to
on
Toy
fire,
and then you go to
but-
Toy Story, where everything is a toy. And then you go to Frozen, where everybody's weird. And then you go to Pirates, where there's humans.
But what season is it?
Yeah.
You don't
Winter,
know.
probably, in Frozen.
I mean...
Well, actually, I think it takes place during, spring? But it's cold.
See, you don't know. Me and Christian, we know what season we're playing in.
And Animal Crossing New Leaf has an internal clock built into it, so it keeps track of time, and they'll get furious at you for setting the clock ahead. God forbid you don't play the game for a week. You come back, all your villagers hate you, they tear down your house. Isabel's like, oh, I haven't seen you in a while. Where have you been? Mr. Rossetti comes out of his little mole hole and is like, oh, you didn't save the last time you played. And then you gotta tell him my batteries died.
So that's a negative.
Yeah, that
that's
seems
a
like
bad
a
thing.
bad
You could play Last of Us, stop playing for 9 years, and then play it again, and they're fine. They'll welcome you back with the open, accepting arms.
No, but this is showing...
No.
Animal Crossing is showing how friendship works. Say you have a friend.
That has nothing to do with
All
the
right, your
graphics.
best friend.
Okay.
That you're
Shush.
getting
No.
you're going off the rails here.
I'm going into...
You want to talk about friendship? I mean, he could talk about Sora and his friends.
And
And
all of his
Donald and
friends.
Goofy.
Yeah.
Donald and Goofy.
And Mike Wazowski.
The power of friendship helps them defeat the darkness and all that, which is cute and all, but Joel and Ellie, they have a true friendship that you see
Their
develop
friendship
over
doesn't
time.
save the world.
It saves Ellie. and fuck the world.
are wrong.
Their friendship actually screws over the world.
Yeah.
That what shows you their friendship is more important than all of humanity. They could possibly save the world or save their friendship. They choose
So
friendship.
you're saying that this old man is best friends with a 14-year-old girl. You don't find anything even a little bit weird about that.
Nah, it seems legit.
As long as it screws over the world.
As long as the world's fucked.
Yeah. I mean, this story has gone through a lot. The story started off with a little boy on an island just wanting to explore other worlds, and it expanded to whatever is going on here. It's just so much. You have to read a lot of things, but once you comprehend the story, if you can, it's actually really nice. It's heartwarming. Just friendship is at the base of that story, and exploration. And really, what's so great about this game is it finishes the story that's been so convoluted for so many years, and they get to move on after this to something else, something different, finally.
Yeah. See, I really liked the original story in Kingdom Hearts 1. It's the boy on an island looking for adventure. He finds it. It's great. Him and his friends, they adventure around. It's great. And then it got really fucking confusing. And
You don't want 7 different Rikus?
7 different... That's a lot. That's too many Rikus.
How many Keyblade wielders are there? There was only supposed to be 1, Joe. 1! How many? There's like 12!
Anyways, Last of Us, on the other hand, has a really simple story. Anybody can follow along because, look, they're just trying to survive. Shit's trying to kill you. You're trying to survive. And along the way, it's kind of an emotional roller coaster. You meet characters, they die, makes you sad. By the end of the story, you come to you come to the climax, and you have a huge decision to make. It's not really a decision. I mean, I'd save Ellie, obviously. But there's so much on the line, and you have to sacrifice to save Ellie, save this friendship, because rather than trying to maybe save the world, he has saved himself. He can trust somebody. Now he has a reason for living. Now there's hope in his life, and there's hope in his world. And maybe, eventually, they can go on to bigger things and figure out and find a cure.
Something we've seen in countless different zombie movies, like Dawn of the Dead or Zombieland, or literally any apocalyptic kind of movie.
That's pretty cool.
This is a little more touching.
But check this out. So you're just a guy, and you're on a train, you're gonna go visit some town, and then this cat with demon red eyes comes up to you and asks you a ton of personal questions.
Mr. Mistopheles.
Mr. Mistopheles comes
in.
What's the railroad?
And you find out
Skimbleshanks.
Skimbleshanks.
And you find out that this town is extremely run down, has like 5 residents, there's nothing there.
The plot of Farmville for Facebook.
And you gotta make all these quick decisions at all times. When I say quick decisions, I mean not quick decisions. That's the best thing about Animal Crossing. Look,
After the beginning of the game, where does the story go?
There's this one part.
Hold on, wait.
Okay, look, you gotta, by shopping at the towns in your store, you'll learn more about like the past of the town and stuff, and the backstory of all the characters, and the shops will expand, and you'll get a huge music.
So what you're
How
saying,
does it end?
So what you're saying is by talking, by talking to the various characters in the game, you find out more about what the story is and what's going on in the world.
Well, in Animal Crossing City Folk, yeah.
But not in
So that's what you just don't find out anything.
I'm really trying to like.
Yes. In a way, yes.
Oh, okay. So obviously we all have different picks, but I think, this is a hard thing to do, but I think I know the real game of the decade. I think we can all agree.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
It's Knack.
It's Knack, baby!
Knack is back,
Knack's
baby!
back. Here comes the money.
You're right. Knack
That's
is
it.
By far the superior
Story,
game.
graphics.
Well, let us know what you think, if you agree
Ice
with
is nice.
any 3 of our choices, and why you think one is better than the other, or what is your favorite game of the decade.
Because we all know
Let us
Animal
know.
Crossing.
Not even close.
Agree with me.
Agree with me.